Hey, welcome to Dark and Smarter. On February 1st, a Dark and Darker developer at Iron Maze hopped on the content creator One Peg's broadcast to do a live Q&A. I'll be going over the most notable updates and changes that we know of thus far. Here's what you missed. This playtest, they are focusing on making the game accessible and appealing to newer players. The release is coinciding with the event Next Fest, so there will be a lot of eyes and publicity. Hopefully, this focus on new incomers will retain a higher player base. There are really no major gameplay changes, so perks, skills, and the fighting mechanics will be what you're used to. There is now an in game party finder if you don't have a full group of three, which incorporates a karma system that will turn your name red if you team kill too often. I think this is a great strategy to fight off griefing and trolling within lobbies. The vendors will now sell stacked items, which is a fantastic quality of life update. Mining has been buffed to make for more efficient crafting. Unfortunately, there still is no shared stash, but he did mention it would be very easy to implement, so keep an eye out for this in the coming months. In terms of new classes, a sorcerer is hinted at, but really any traditional fantasy role is on the table. Now, the Bard. I know everyone was highly anticipating this new character, which would have completely changed the game, but unfortunately, we will not be seeing this class until a later date. I can also see this as a good thing since we haven't had much time to play the current classes to their full extent, and adding another character might throw off the balance and meta that we've been trying to establish. Next is VoIP. Yes, that's correct. We will have in game chat. This, in my opinion, is probably the most impactful change they have made. We will be able to speak with our teammates when solo queuing for a 3-man. This is on by default and will have a push to talk key. Now, for all you Highroller players, he did admit the difficulty was overtuned, and there was not enough gear incentive to do Highroller lobbies. But thankfully, in this upcoming playtest, they have buffed the drops, and we should be walking away with our well earned rewards. Now, the Cave Troll. He did mention this is a very experimental addition, so guys, if there are any bugs and glitches, don't be surprised and sprint to Reddit to make a hate thread. Everything is being constantly tweaked and fine tuned, so just remember we're still in pre release. He said in his words, Dark and Darker is not about one dungeon, they want it to feel like a world setting, which makes me really excited for the future of this game. Another massive addition, like I did predict in my short earlier this week, there will be a completely separate queue for solo players. No more getting run over by a team of 3 when you have no one to play with. They did also ensure you will be able to acquire up to epic tier weapons, possibly up to legendary if they ramp up the difficulty. He didn't indicate that Cave Troll will not be a boss for the team dungeons, so we will have to wait for the release to confirm. For all you rogues, barbarians, and fighters, this playtest is designed in such a way that rewards a better experience for melee characters, and not favoring range damage. And finally, great news, guys. We finally have a soft date for early access being at the end of April or May. Even though there has been some time between last playtest and now, they've not actually done any real development work yet due to the fact that they took off at the end of December and beginning of January for the holidays. They really want to design a very fun, fantastical experience, but that takes time. So seeing the sky or town in Dark and Darker will take a long time and will probably happen in 1 to 2 years. This Q&A really answered a lot of questions players have been sitting on since the end of Playtest 3, and I'm so excited to hop on this Monday with all of you. Thanks for tuning in to Dark and Smarter, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.